Good day, everyone. Good day, everyone. Or good evening. Good evening. I'm gonna hold for just a moment. Actually, let me see. Something. No. What is this? No. 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 Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started with this collective read, because you know I like to get started with that. Okay, so let's start with that. My favorite deck. My dream reading cards deck. And I'll have to post that because I don't think I've ever posted these cards. Even though you guys see me use them, I don't think I've ever posted a link for them. So I will be doing that. I'll probably post them in the comments, the cards that I use. But at least show you the cover. Oh, even though it's reversed. But all right. Let's see. I already seen the Goddess card. And the creativity card. And see, there has been a lot of creative energy going on. I had a little reading earlier that I did talking about creativity, someone trying to steal it. And then the Goddess card is also about not allowing people to make you feel like you're smaller than you are, because you aren't. Because usually when someone's trying to make you feel smaller, it's because they already feel small within themselves instead of they're projecting. So we don't want to. No, we don't want to listen to them. We don't want to listen to them. We want to listen to ourselves, right? But let's see. Ooh, these 4 came out. So let's do it. Birth, babies, communication, leadership, and wisdom and transformation. Whoa, that's a mouthful. With chased. Interesting. So with this chased card, this was underneath the deck. As you can see, running from your shadow. Now, this could be people from your past, because underneath the chase card was people. And this is my sweet nothings card. But this is also my pull the wool over your eyes card, or the put rose-colored glasses on yourself card. Okay? But since it's people, you might have some people from your past trying to dig up your past. Interesting. But the thing about it is, interesting. It's the energy is like a predator hunting a predator. But maybe not a predator, but, you know, it's like typically predators hunt for, how would you say, weak or easy prey. But it seems as though the predators chose prey that wasn't so easy. Interesting. Because they may have thought you were easy because you were maybe at one time so okay with taking the back seat, okay with helping, but not being the face of the help. Like maybe you were somebody who can pour into somebody else's idea and it expands, or you stand next to someone and you make them look better. It can be those kind of scenarios. Or really you're a leader, so it's like you come across as a teacher, somebody who can manage things very well. So others it's like they've noticed your skills, but maybe at one point you didn't recognize your own skills, or you didn't realize that you were as good as you were. So they saw it, but you didn't see it. So that gave space. They gave room for them to be able to feed you lies, pretty much, and deceive you and withhold things from you. Because at one point, it was like not knowing what direction you wanted to go in. Like you had all this creative energy. You had all this creative energy, yet you didn't know what you wanted to do with it. You didn't know what to do with it. You hadn't made a decision. So people saw all that creative energy and was like, maybe I can direct it. But at the same time, I know this person is really a leader. So I have to be deceptive in a sense. Otherwise, I won't be able to control them. I won't be able to control their energy. The leadership card says you're no longer the supporting cast. You are the leading man or woman. Take the initiative and lead the way for others to follow. You'll be judged by the company you keep and those you admire. And at one point, you might have admired these people. But as you can see, he's taking the blindfold off. This was also somebody who was very much wearing their heart on their sleeves. Or the people thought, since you had that there on the lapel there, you see, but it's a key. So it's like, yeah, I do express my emotions freely. I do express my emotions freely, but you don't got the key. I didn't give you the key to it. See, this is where you get it twisted. See, now it's coming out where, oh, no. I don't know why you thought I was the Queen of Cups. That's what it seems like. They saw you as somebody sweet and soft and caring and a go-getter, wanting to get things done, and very intuitive as well and creative. But it was the softer side of things. But they didn't know that you also have a Queen of Swords on you. You're the Queen of Swords, but see, even deeper. With this transformation card, it's showing me that you have transformed. The thing about it, though, is, remember, I was shuffling and the Goddess card came out. The Goddess is the equivalent of the Empress card in the traditional tarot. So that would mean that you're all four of the queens at once. You embody all four of the queens. The problem is though, while they thought that they were blindfolding you, they were blindfolding themselves. They didn't want to see. They only wanted to see you how they wanted to see you. And didn't realize that you were not weak, that you're not just the Queen of Cups, that you are also the Queen of Swords, you're also the Queen of Wands, and you're also the Queen of Pentacles. But they only saw the Queen of Cups. They didn't take the time out. Now, don't get too bogged down about gender here. I'm saying the Queen, but focus on the characteristics. Intuitive, creative, nurturing, heavy on the creativity and the intuition. Another thing, though, is the Queen can sometimes be, because the King of Cups is somebody who has complete emotional control. Sometimes the Queen of Cups can, sometimes the Queen of Cups can get a little in her feelings, okay? But they didn't realize that that's just a facet. You can switch to whichever queen characteristics you need because you're the Empress. You embody all of them. So guess what? You already knew when you took that off, because this isn't completely, you can see a little bit. You can see through that blindfold. It's lace. So it's not solid. So you can see a little bit. So although you may not have seen everything with your actual sight, Hello, they thought you were the Queen of Cups initially. And the Queen of Cups is at times psychic. So regardless if the sight was there or not, the physical sight, there was the internal sight, your spiritual sight, your intuition. So it's like this. And then on top of that, the Queen of Swords, where you can look at this leadership card, this is pretty much a version of the Queen of Swords. She's very blunt and like zero tolerance. She does not let her emotions rule her. So even though the Queen of Cups at times can be a little because of the psychicness, the intuition, the romanticism, she's not just the Queen of Cups, she's the Empress. So now that she's in her Queen of Swords, because these people clearly helped her transform into a new facet, her next facet. She cut that off. This is a woman who's like, what happened? This is how, oh, okay, yeah, I just cut it off then. It's nothing. It's nothing to the Queen of Swords. It's nothing. Also the wisdom though. And another thing, this to me, this is an extension of the Hermit card. There is another card in this deck called the Manifest card, which I would consider is the equivalent to the Hermit card. But this is the extension of the Hermit card. Realizing that you are the wisdom because of your experiences and because of your connection with spirit, your soul. It's like I'm picking up the Akashic records. You know, you being able to go and look at your blueprint, your DNA, like that spiritual energy that's on your DNA. You've been able to tap into that. Not only that, you've learned how to use your voice again. Dragonflies might be significant. You can look up that symbolism. I'll probably look it up later because I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, experience and failure lead to wisdom. Apply wisdom to a present situation and learn from the spirit world and its collective knowledge. Again, you were able to tap into the blueprint of your destiny. It's like how the past, the present, and the future all exist at the same time. That your future self leaves an imprint. And you come across that crossroad of when you made a decision and you had that split. In that decision, you said yes, you went that way. In this decision, you said no, you went that way. But then while you come to that crossroad, you get this feeling that I've been here before. So, remember that feeling. You've been here before. You have been here before. You've been here before. This is also maybe you coming into remembering a past life or past lives. Remembering who you are. Maybe that was being hidden from you. Even though these people, they knew it, they wouldn't dare tell you. Again, like I said, or they'd lose control of you. When you realize that you were the one they needed all along, while they tried to trick you into thinking that you needed them. Or they wanted you to believe that. But see, this is the thing. You never believed that in the first place. While they thought they were putting this over your eyes, they weren't. They were actually blinding themselves. Because again, they were refusing to see you for who you really were. It may be some significance, maybe some main male, main masculine who's overseeing things. This is the web, this is online, this is internet, or it could be a network of people, or it could be a group of people, or it could be a organization or business, or it's some kind of network. Could be a cult, could be yeah. Weird, I just heard museum. What's the museum got? What's that got to do with anything? Museum. Growth. Ah, the goddess card did come out. Ah, this reminds me, it's making me think of this post that I recently did where I said, you're not a spectacle. Like, I'm not a spectacle, I'm a soul. It seems like somebody might have been trying to, another Queen of Swords just came out. This is her. This is the fancy Queen of Swords. That's what I call her. Empowerment. This is the empowerment card. It says, believe in your own power to create change and control your life. Be empowered by becoming an example to others. Use your past experiences to make you stronger. Wow, so these three absolutely tie in together. The empowerment card, along with the leadership card, they're all saying, it's like these two cards, wisdom and leadership equals empowerment. You've been here before. You've been here before. You've done this already. You can feel it too. This might have been a situation, especially when it comes to this chase card. This could very well have been a situation that has been ongoing for years. If it isn't the same situation, you keep coming across this situation again with maybe different people in different bodies. Because this is a lesson that you have to learn. But even for me, I'm starting to see, I'm not taking this so much as lessons anymore. I'm taking it as training. This is spiritual training. Because when we're talking about spiritual warfare, how else you going to get the practice? You know? Like I said, muscles, discernment is a muscle. You got to use it. How else you going to hone it if you don't get situations where you have to use it? So that might help if you change your perspective on these different things that might be happening. These different things that are challenging you and forcing you to grow, forcing you to expand. Not only just spiritually, but physically. But remember, spirit is first. So whatever happens spiritually then comes out physically. It projects out. With this birth and babies, we have a new beginning coming. We're having a new beginning company. Oh, company. A new beginning maybe for a company. Interesting. This birth and babies card, because of these rabbits, I'm always thinking of Easter. I'm always thinking about spring equinox, Aries season. Somebody who's a fire rabbit or a fire cat might be significant too. The number 18 going down to a 9. So the ending of a cycle, and now we're about to begin a new one. But something has to end first before this new birth can happen. But I believe, let's see what the goddess stack says. Ooh, the goddess, magic, journey, prosperity, and body. So definitely a transformation going on. Some of you might be changing your diet. Some of you might be creating a new exercise regimen, because this is about transformation of the body. Oh, maybe retracting the BBL. You know how they take the fillers out? Maybe that kind of situation too. But it's definitely a transformation happening with the body. Also, could be a transformation when it comes to your image. I just heard branding deal. So You might have a brand, a deal that comes with your brand or something along that. Because, yeah, something about your image. Something about your face. Like I just heard that's the bread and butter. That's the bread and butter. So that means your face card is on point. But it's an intimacy, but the wisdom is right behind. Some people might be recognizing the fact that you're not just pretty or handsome. These people might have thought that you were just pretty and that was it. But instead of getting to know you, they just assumed. They assumed that you were just hot and that's all you had to offer. That was it. You don't know anything. You don't have any talents. You don't have any other skills. You're just pretty. Like, and they might think you're privileged. They may think that you're privileged. But it's like, well, but I can't help that I look like money. And I can actually relate to that. There's a lot of people I've noticed that they think, oh, she's pretty, so people do things and people just have it easy and da-da. I've been told this before. This isn't just something I'm saying. I've been told this. Or, oh, I thought when I first met you that you were a bitch. Or I thought you were stuck up. Or I thought you were hastididdy. Or da-da-da. And it's like, what made you think that, though? What made you think that? You just wanted it to be that. But it's like, hey, that's people's own insecurities. They either want to know the truth and get to know the truth, or they don't. Because if they want to know the truth, they would just ask you. They would just ask. And so that's another thing. It's like, oh, heavy on some protection too. Like behind your back. I don't know if something's going on behind you. I don't know why I'm being brought that, but something's going on behind you and it's like you're being protected though. Like you have a lot of protection. Because you're supposed to go through a new journey, see? But that's because you're the Empress. And the Empress, when you embody that Empress energy, it's a natural shield, force field. Because you're only going to attract Empress things. And you're going to repel the lower vibrations. And I do mean lower. Because this has nothing to do with money. This has nothing to do with looks. This has nothing to do with any of that. This has to do with spiritual ranking. This is what we talk about when we're talking about the Empress energy, the Emperor energy. It is not that somebody looks like they're a queen or Empress on the throne or that they're... No. We're talking about the energy. And the energy of the Empress is she knows how to manifest just by being her. By being her creative, nurturing, positive, beautiful inside out, energy, Empress, individual. That's what that is. So it's like when people are like, oh, this person got it. No. Most likely they had the heart for it. Their energy is aligned with that frequency. Not to say that you're not going to attract lower entities. They're still going to try. And then they're going to try to get at you and nitpick at you. So they can try to lower you. They got to get in your head for you to lower yourself. Otherwise, they can't do anything. It's just like possession. Like you know the different phases, the different stages of possession. First, they got to wear you down. They got to create a crack in order to slither in. You don't got no cracks. You don't got no cracks. You don't got no cracks because not to say that you're even a perfect individual. Another aspect of that is accepting yourself, loving yourself, letting go of shame, letting go of guilt. That's how they get you, shame and guilt. Is there something to be ashamed of? No. Why? Because it fucking happened. Whatever happened, happened. Pardon me. And you accept it. The suffering comes from non-acceptance. Being afraid to be seen. You want to hide. Oh, people are gonna, I'm so embarrassed. Well, yeah, you should be embarrassed that you did that thing. But then you gotta let it go. That's how you learn not to do it again. That's an experience. Stop making yourselves the experience. You are not the happening or that experience. Stop tying your identity to a happening or an experience. Shame and guilt. So be careful, because you really do have, it seems like, people, or this is what's happening with the collective right now anyway, especially with those who have really tapped into themselves so that they can tap into spirit. Because if you don't know yourself, if you don't connect with yourself, how can you connect with God? How? You can't. And for people to say not to give you any credit and it's all God. It is. But at the same time, you have an individual soul. You have free will. You have freely chosen to be aligned with spirit. But you have to be aligned with yourself. You have to be aligned with yourself so that you could trust yourself. Because don't act like just as you will hear intuition, you're gonna hear other entities trying to come at you. The doubts, the fears, other people's energies who send evil eye. There is a such thing as being able to plant thoughts. This is a fact. CIA files tell you that. This is a fact that you can plant thoughts in people's heads. So that includes suicidal thoughts, things like, I know I just said a word I probably shouldn't have said, but all these low vibrational thoughts. So you have to be able to filter out those thoughts. You got to know yourself so well that when one of those thoughts come in your head, you're like, what the hell? Why would I think that? No, thank you. Them intrusive thoughts? Yeah. But sometimes it don't just be intrusive thoughts. Sometimes it be some real negative thoughts. And you have to be able to, man, what's making me think about, if you've seen Harry Potter, I know they're making a new one now. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm old like that now. But if you remember in Harry Potter, when Professor Snape, was it Snape? I believe so. Where he was teaching the kids how to combat against someone taking over your body. Remember? Look, go watch it then. I might even post that clip just from this. Let me write that down, because, yeah. Yeah, we're going to do that. Because He was pretty much teaching you how to combat against possession. And he said, what you do is question why. When your body gets taken over by somebody else with their little wine, you ask, why? When they say jump on one foot, why? It's that simple. You got to realize, like, it's when people don't realize that they're telepathic, they don't realize that they're empaths, or that they have any of the clairs, like the clairvoyancy, the clairaudience. When you're not aware of that, you can be easily controlled. Especially with people who are aware of it. You're energetically sensitive, and you have to learn boundaries. That is the thing that's gonna save you. You have to know that you're protected, that you have a strong enough will, that you can't just be taken over. This magic card is saying you gotta know how magical you are. Knowing yourself is what's protecting you. The more you learn about yourself, the stronger your will be. The stronger your connection with God will be. God, spirit, goddess, universe, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a person who's going to sit here and say, oh, well, I call it, you don't call it my... It's too many people out here that have different belief systems. And I'm not about that. Whatever you believe, at the end of the day, it's from one source. No matter what you say, it's from one source. No matter what you call it, it's from one source. So yes, from source. We'll just say that. Let's see if there's anything else from this deck here. Yeah, merging into yourself. So, now we're going into love. Okay, let's see how much more time I got. I said I was going to give you... I'm only at 32 minutes. How nice. Let's see. I said I was going to do an hour. Let's see, any love. Okay. Because I did just see the sex card. See? Okay. We got 3 growth cards. I used to call them lesson cards because that's how they explain it in the book, but it's growth. It's growth. First, we have house and buildings. What do you want? What do you want in love? What do you want in love? What does love look like for you? Because you, at one point, you may have had a basic relationship. Then you're like, okay, I know what I don't want. Then you went to another relationship. And it's like, okay, now I do know what I want. And then we go up here and you're like, wait a minute. Do I know what I want? Like, there's nothing there. But that's because you gotta imagine it. What do you want? What do you want? You gotta decide. But see, you scared. You scared. You don't want to imagine it. You know, it reminds me, it's like when you lose, it's like not wanting to have it again because you're scared to lose it again. It's like, I can't lose it again, or it's going to just break me. And that's understandable because that's how it feels. But with this energy here, if we're talking about this Empress energy, this goddess energy, this God or goddess energy, like your godhood, the God within yourself, you tapping into that. All you got to do is imagine. What does a relationship look like to you? And when you imagine it, is it coming out unhealthy? Are you afraid it's unhealthy? So then now that means that we need to pour images of healthy love within ourselves. If you weren't able to see that from your parents, then there's a whole big wide web, okay? Shoot, we can do vision boards. We can go on Pinterest. I love me some Pinterest. Go on Pinterest and look up love, black love, family love. You know, I say black love because I'm black, but whatever other setting, Caribbean love, you know, European love, Asian love. Because you don't want to be vulnerable. You don't want somebody to get you in your feelings. Like you don't want it. You want it, but you don't. You like, dang, I don't want to have to go through that again. But stop imagining that. Who said you're going to go through that particular thing again? Because remember, you experience. You've had the experience. So you know you'll be able to see it now, coming from a mile away. And you'll be able to use your voice and say, hey, I'm starting to feel like I've been here before and I don't like it. Is this where we are? And that's when the other will be like, oh, you know. Anything else? Ooh, renewal and rebirth. So we got birth, babies, and renewal and rebirth. And the growth card as well. And trust. So growing pains. Being pushed, being pressured to grow. You got to get over this. You got to get over this. Because these people or the past is just smoke and mirrors. They're irrelevant. It's like ghosts chasing ghosts. Seriously. It's ghosts chasing ghosts. It's like they're looking for something that's not there. And in the meantime, wasting their own energy and time. While you sitting here glowing, like you moving forward. You moving forward. You like, I don't got time. The goddess card says, embrace the feminine, create and be gentle, nurturing yet strong, and do not listen to those who want to keep you small. Believe that you are as important as the stars in the heavens. I think I'm going to leave it there. Believe that you are as important as the stars in the heavens. If you would like to have a private reading, you can click that link below. Until then, I think I'm going to take a break. I may come back on, but we'll see. All right. Bye, everybody.